Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen and thanks for buying our DIY Ashura Kit or getting it as a gift. We use Ashura as a breakfast cereal, but quite a few of our customers call it crack. It's really fun, really easy to make. So in your kit you will have puffed wheat, a mix of nuts, a mix of seeds, some honey, some oil, some dark brown sugar, a little sachet of spices is the most important thing. A nice little wooden spoon to help you through, and some baking paper. From your kitchen, you're going to need kind of medium saucepan, a large bowl, and 2 flat trays. That's it. And then we're going to turn our oven on to 170 fan or 190 if you're using convection. I'm just going to start by getting the oil, honey, and sugar into this saucepan and getting it on the stove. You just want to pour it in. I usually start with the oil just so it doesn't burn on the bottom. Don't worry, there's a touch extra honey in the jar, so if it doesn't all come out, you're fine. And onto the stove. Then your next stage is your nice big bowl, and you want to pour all this puffed wheat in. It's really light, so you can get through it quite easily. Keep the jar because you're going to store it later in there. Then all your nuts go on top. And our spice mix, just sprinkle it all over. It smells gorgeous. And our seeds. So that's all ready for us. And we want to head to the stove and increase the heat on our sugar. So we just want to have it on quite a high heat and let it all bubble together as one, as kind of a little volcanic mass. Be careful here and don't mess around because it can get quite hot. Get your trays ready, because once we start pouring over the boiling sugar, you want to be ready. So that's why you have your baking paper there, and you want to just unravel it a bit and get it on the trays. And then turn to your caramel. Don't let it burn without paying attention. So you want to wait until it's really nice and volcanic like this, and it looks like it's one mass rather than separated oil and stuff like that. Be a bit patient. Don't be worried, nothing's going to happen at this early stage. But you see, once it's bubbling all over, you give it a good mix. It all looks nice and combined. Wait for all those bubbles. Everywhere. There we go. Now it's time to carefully take it off the stove and pour it over our cereal. So be careful, guys. Once this is boiling, it is hot and it's quite bubbly, but this is what you want. So nice bubbles, and just pour it as you're stirring carefully. This is why the big bowl is a necessity. Just give it a mix as you pour and kind of try and drizzle it all over. And then you want to scrape everything out of that pot. Be careful, put the pot aside, not on the heat or anything. You can soak it in just a bit of water and it will be fine. And then just continue mixing this until it's all beautifully coated with that mix. And once it seems like it's all nicely coated, straight onto the 2 trays. God. This smells delicious even before you do anything, but it will be soft now, so you have to put it in the oven to get that proper crispy texture that we're looking for. Good, this is nicely distributed everywhere, and we're going to tip it into these 2 trays. Try and get it an even amount in both so they bake at the same time. There we go, into the oven. Once your first 10 minutes are over, you just want to move everything around in the tray. Get it out. And very carefully, just mix it around and then back into the oven. So, that's our trays out. They're quite hot now. I personally like it in kind of nice clusters of deliciousness, so I leave them untouched on the tray to cool and then break it up quite roughly. If you prefer a cereal that's a bit more loose, give it a mix now, and then as it cools, give it another mix just so it separates a bit. But really, trust me on the clusters, it's delicious. That's all there is to it. Little clusters of joy.